What up, everybody on YouTube? I was just watch here, I'll make this video. I just making a quick video on the Corvette. Got the clutch out and all that stuff. I did it all on the ground without a lift, and I'm gonna go into that too and kind of show you guys how to do it without messing up your torque tube or anything else, or just messing anything up. The little shaft that comes through the torque tube. So I'm just going to get into showing you the old stock parts compared to the new parts, because like I said, I got that 200 shot of NOS on there and a lot more upgrades, and I definitely want to make sure that it can hold that power. So here we go. Okay, here is my pressure plate here. As you can see, the teeth here, they're just they turn red from the heat. So much heat there. You could just tell from the old one to the new one, you could just see so many more teeth here. This one's going to be so much smoother. I could just tell it's built so much better. Then we go into the pad here, the clutch pad, and as you can see on this one here, it's just a regular basic pad. What I think they did is they kept the stock pressure plate for the clutch and just put a new pad in there without changing out the flywheel or the pressure plate, which is not good because you want all that stuff to wear in together at the same time. It'll hold more power, it'll shift smoother, it'll just last a lot longer. So as you can see here, the new one got some springs in here, and that just makes it more stable, so when it's spinning in there, it doesn't have catching that plate and then pushing it down up against the flywheel to engage the gear, you know what I mean. It doesn't it allows it to flex a little bit, so it doesn't bust or snap anything. It just allows it to shift smoother. I purchased the slave cylinder separate, got a remote line here, remote bleeder line. I suggest everybody get this piece as well. The stupid thing is, I guess I bought a cheaper one on there, and I just tried to look for a cheaper one that would fit it. The stupid part about it is that the fitting doesn't fit into this slave cylinder here, so I'm gonna have to go find a fitting that'll fit from this to this, so that I can bleed my clutch without having to drop my whole freaking transmission to get to the top of the bell housing. And it just makes your life a whole lot more easier. You want to make sure your clutch fluid is always clean, and you're keeping it clean. It will make it last a lot longer, so you're not spending so much money. Then we could go to the flywheel. The flywheel that I got here with the X-Steady clutch. This one actually is a 15, well, it's about almost 16 pound lightweight flywheel. You could just, this one compared to the other one, you could just tell it's so much better, gonna hold so much more power. As you can see from the springs here, there's an indentation here for those to kind of sit up in there, you know what I mean, up against the flywheel in the back of the pressure plate here. So yeah, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get into some more information for you guys, so you guys don't mess up or break anything on your vehicle while you're disconnecting and uninstalling your dropping your clutch, your transmission, and your torque tube to get to the clutch out, especially if you're doing it on the floor as well, because you don't want to mess up or ruin anything, which is the torque tube, because they're so damn expensive. So I'm going to kind of go into a little detail on how I did that, just so you guys know, because I haven't seen any videos that kind of explain this to anybody. As you can see there, see everything's disconnected. It's sitting down here on the tranny jack. Everything's ready to go. You have to disconnect your A-arms, your sway bar, and I thought I didn't have to disconnect that, but you want to do that because it'll mess up those little lateral links, and those ones are already messed up, so I'm going to put new ones on there because the boot's ripped and stuff like that anyways. But what you want to do is you don't want to just drop the whole back subframe and then pull the transmission out from, slide the transmission out like that. What you want to do first is take your transmission mount out, stabilize your transmission. There's my transmission mount. Take the transmission out, stabilize the transmission. As you can see, it's just laying on the subframe right now, so that you could drop your subframe without having to drop the whole dang transmission, because it'll offset the torque tube sticking in the back of the block. It'll just turn and spin that whole thing back, which causes damage to the back of your block. As you can see, there's a lot of vacuum lines and other stuff in the back here, and your motor will just damage your firewall and potentially cause mechanical failure, because it'll either clamp one of your I don't know, your fuel lines, or some of your vacuum lines back there can break. So what you want to do, like I said, is drop your motor mount first. Stabilize your transmission with a jack like this here. See how it's going down underneath there to the transmission. Then what you want to do is drop your subframe a little bit. Or actually, you don't even have to drop the subframe right away. What I did is I just disconnected the motor mount, brought the jack up to stabilize the back of the transmission. Then I went up underneath here and I disconnected the torque tube here. As you can see, the torque tube's all disconnected there and ready to go. There's a flywheel. It's all eaten up. It's bad because, like I said, they changed out that pad without changing out the flywheel. So like I said, what you want to do, and, oh yeah, and here's another quick little trick before I get any further. I put some sheet metal up there. As you can see, it holds the front of the torque tube in place. You take your shield out, because there's a shield that like goes in before the torque tube here, and I took that out and bolted a piece of sheet metal in there so that it'll hold the front of the torque tube steady for me. You know what I mean? But like I said, first off, you want to take out your tranny mount, pull your disconnect your torque tube. You could scoot your tranny back a little, scoot it back a little bit to pull it out of the flywheel and the pressure plate and all that stuff. And then you come back here and then you bring your tranny down, set it down on your subframe, and then you could just scoot the whole thing back once the torque tube bar is out of the back of the block, the clutch. Because like I said, if it pulls the whole motor back, it will push back and crack the back of the block. The vacuum lines, not the block, but the vacuum lines and anything else that's in the way back there. Also, you want to make sure you stabilize your motor with a jack. See how I got a jack there with a jack stand with a piece of wood there holding the block up? Because there's only 2 motor mounts down there that hold the block in place, and they're rubber. So if you don't have something there to stabilize your block can potentially lean back and fall, not fall, but it could rip your motor mounts, and then your block could fall completely back, and that just causes a lot more damage. So you just want to make sure you take your time, take that tranny mount out first, disassemble the torque tube, of course, put your jack up holding your tranny in place, like straight as you can, as level as possible. Then you just take your flywheel bolts, your torque tube bolts loose, and inch it back a little bit at a time. Get that back torque tube rod, I guess it's 26 spline torque tube. It's like a little rod that goes into the back of the block to the throwout bearing and all that stuff, which engages your transmission to the back. But you want to make sure that little, post that comes out is completely out of the block. Because if you drop that transmission down, it's just going to angle in there wrong. It's going to put pressure on that torque tube, and it's going to end up messing up your torque tube. You might get lucky and get away with it, but like I said, take your time. Take the tranny mount out first, stabilize the transmission, then drop the rear subframe, then pull everything back out of the way. Get yourself a piece of sheet metal, whatever else you could use to stabilize the front of the torque tube. Then you stabilize the rear subframe with the transmission on it, and you should be good and ready to go. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Like I said, I was on YouTube, and there was no videos of anybody really doing this in their garage on their own, without a lift. So that's just some quick information for you guys, so you don't mess up or break anything on your car, because those torque tubes are freaking expensive. You don't want to have to be replacing one of those. Also, the flywheel, the new one, you want to spray that down with some brake cleaner, and make sure you get all that extra whatever grime off that keeps it from rusting. It's kind of like a brake rotor. You want to make sure everything is real clean before you install it. Also, I'm going to do the rear main seal on there. And if you're doing the rear main seal, don't just replace that little slave cylinder that goes around the post to the torque tube. You want to take that whole shield out and put the whole new gasket in the back side of it with that new little bearing that goes there. I mean, this little, I guess it goes around the post that goes to the torque tube. But yeah, I just wanted to make this quick video to let you guys know how to get it done right without breaking or ruining your car. Thank you and have a wonderful night. Please subscribe. I'm going to be making a lot more videos like this. I'm going to run it at the track as well, and I'll be posting a video on that. I'm hoping this clutch can stand up to the power. Like I said, it's built a lot better, so I think I'm not going to have any issues with that. Thank you. Please subscribe if you want to check this puppy out at the track. It's an 02 Corvette. Have a nice night, guys.